March 8, 2014. A commercial airplane carrying 239 passengers and crew took off from Kuala Lumpur heading to Beijing. Everything seemed normal. But less than an hour later, the plane disappeared. No distress call. No clear wreckage. No explanation. More than a decade later, the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 remains one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. What really happened to MH370? The aircraft was a Boeing 777-200ER operated by Malaysia Airlines. It departed from Kuala Lumpur International Airport at 12:41 a.m. local time. The destination, Beijing Capital International Airport. On board were 227 passengers and 12 crew members. The captain, Zahari Ahmad Shah, was a highly experienced pilot with over 18,000 hours of flight time. For the first 40 minutes, the flight proceeded normally. Then something strange happened. At 1:19 a.m., air traffic control handed the plane from Malaysian airspace to Vietnamese controllers. The co-pilot gave the final radio message, "Good night. Malaysian 370. Seconds later, the aircraft's transponder suddenly stopped transmitting. On radar screens, MH370 simply vanished. But the mystery was only beginning. Military radar soon revealed something shocking. Instead of continuing toward Beijing, the aircraft had turned around. It flew back across Malaysia, then headed northwest toward the Andaman Sea. After that, it disappeared from radar completely. For hours, the world believed the plane was somewhere over the South China Sea. Search teams looked in the wrong place. Meanwhile, the aircraft may have been flying thousands of kilometers away. Days later, investigators discovered something critical. Even though the plane's tracking systems were off, the aircraft was still communicating silently with a satellite. The satellite belonged to Inmarsat. Every hour, the aircraft sent a tiny automated signal called a handshake. These signals suggested the plane kept flying for about 7 hours after disappearing. Using the satellite data, experts calculated two possible flight paths, one north toward Central Asia, one south deep into the Indian Ocean. Soon, investigators concluded the southern route was far more likely. That meant MH370 probably crashed in one of the most remote oceans on Earth. An enormous international search began. More than 20 countries joined the effort. Ships, aircraft, submarines, and underwater drones scanned the ocean floor. The search area covered millions of square kilometers. Years passed. Still, nothing. Then in 2015, something finally appeared. A piece of aircraft debris washed ashore on Réunion Island. Investigators confirmed it belonged to MH370. Over time, more debris pieces were discovered along the east coast of Africa and nearby islands. But the main wreckage of the plane has never been found. Without the full wreckage, investigators can only propose theories. Here are the most widely discussed ones. Theory 1, pilot suicide. Some experts believe the captain deliberately diverted the plane and flew it into the ocean. However, there is no definitive proof of this. Theory 2, hijacking. Another theory suggests someone on board took control of the aircraft. But investigators found no evidence of a struggle or terrorist claim. Theory 3, electrical fire. Some experts think a fire disabled the aircraft's systems and crew. In this scenario, the plane may have continued flying on autopilot until it ran out of fuel. Theory 4, hypoxia. A slow loss of cabin pressure could have caused everyone on board to lose consciousness. The aircraft would then keep flying automatically until it crashed. This theory is similar to what happened in the tragedy of Helios Airways Flight 522. But again, none of these theories fully explain the mystery. Today, more than a decade later, the fate of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 is still unknown. The plane, the passengers, and the full story of what happened that night may still be lying somewhere deep in the Indian Ocean, waiting to be discovered. So the question remains, was MH370 the result of a tragic accident? A deliberate act? Or something we still don't understand? What do you think happened to the missing plane? Let me know your theory in the comments. And if you enjoy aviation mysteries, subscribe for more stories from the skies.